We are in the home stretches, okay? We've got just a couple days to go until Apple's September event. The iPhone 15 Pro is about to be officially unveiled, but, well, we basically already know everything about it, if the rumors are to be believed. And let me tell you, folks, this year there is a ton of CCRP. If you're not a regular viewer of Dark Mode, my podcast that I host here on the channel every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern, CCRP is a term that I've coined for figuring out if leaks are legitimate. It stands for correlation, credibility, repetition, and proximity, and those are the four key aspects of a rumor or of the rumor scene in general that you can use to determine how likely things are to be the case. And there are a lot of rumors flying around right now that have very, very strong CCRP. We're hearing the same thing from a bunch of reliable sources multiple times. But the first thing that I want to talk about are the colors. I know this has been addressed, you've probably seen videos about it all over the place, but holy cow, I just gotta say that Apple really needs to put more ink in their printers, because what the heck is this? Titan gray and that deep blue that looks like a ripoff of Pacific blue. I'm not satisfied. I really hope that they end up looking slightly better in person. Why can't we just have a green iPhone? Remember the green iPhone 13 Pro? That was a tasty color. And I'm just saying, they've never done any sort of an orange on the Pro phones, so get on that, Tim. Now, it's been suggested that part of the reason that the colors are so muted this year is because of Apple's switch to a titanium frame. And now that's something that the CCRP is off the charts. We've been hearing about that for literally a year now, but some are suggesting maybe it's harder to get rich, vibrant colors onto titanium. Now, the thing that I am curious about is the new Titan gray color. This is something that kind of came out of left field a little while ago, and from what I've seen in renders and the dummy units that Sam from Apple Track has been showing, honestly, it almost seems like the return of iPhone 6 Space Gray, which I think was the worst Space Gray to ever exist. The best, of course, being the iPhone 5S. This is a legendary color, and it will never be outdone, and certainly not by the iPhone 15 Pro in Titan Gray. But anyway, let's move on to some of the more topical rumors. One that really caught my attention was this. The iPhone 15 is supposedly featuring an improved ultra-wideband chip for better location accuracy. And this rumor also comes with a clarification about the periscope lens featuring 6x optical zoom. And that's something that I'm really excited for, because the iPhone 14 Pro's camera system is a little bit wasted, I think. You've got an ultra-wide camera, that's great. You've got the 48 megapixel main camera, that's great. And you have 2x optical zoom, well, kind of optical, just by cropping in on that sensor. So it's kind of weird to have 1x, 2x, and 3x, with 3x being a whole different camera. Like, if you're gonna have a whole other camera for a zoom lens, make it a bigger zoom. And so that seems to be what they're doing. But back to that ultra-wideband chip, apparently the U2 chip is going to be integrated in the iPhone this year. And that this update is not just going to be on the Pro phones, but on the regular iPhone 15 as well, which is a good thing, because I really can't think of any other features that we're getting on the iPhone 15 apart from USB-C. Although there was that rumor that we're going to get the 48 megapixel camera with a new stacked lens design, so I guess that's something. So next up, we have the resolution to a rumor war that has been basically going on for a while about the name for the larger of the iPhone Pro models. There's been some debate as to whether Apple is going to implement the Ultra name this year or next year. I know, it's super riveting, but apparently, gets more riveting, they're not going to do it this year. So after all of that talk about whether they were going to change Pro Max to Ultra, they're not. Don't you just love when the leaks and rumors are like going back and forth for a year, and then 3 days before the event, they just go, oh, actually, never mind, nothing's going to change. The rumor is that there is no rumor. The CCRP does seem to indicate that next year there could be an iPhone 16 Ultra with an even larger 6.9-inch display. That is one that I'm definitely intrigued by, although having a screen even larger than this honestly makes me sweat. That's a big phone. But while you might not be getting the Ultra name on the end of this phone, you are going to get an extra digit on the price tag. That's right, this year we are expecting the first increase in the Pro models since the iPhone X launched back in 2017. And the response to this rumor, I think, has been very interesting, because a lot of people are like, oh my god, I can't believe Apple's raising the price again. but it has been 6 years. It has been nearly a third of the lifespan of the iPhone since they've changed the pricing for the Pro models. And not to get too semantic, but $999 in 2017 money is about $1,245 in today's dollars, to put some perspective on the inflation that we've faced recently. So I'm not happy about the price increase, but I'm not surprised. But seemingly, while you will be paying more for this year's phones, you will be getting less weight for your money. That I tried to do like a smooth transition, it didn't work, but the rumor is that the iPhone 15 Pro could be the most lightweight Pro model since the iPhone XS. And this rumor is not that deep, folks. Basically, titanium weighs less than stainless steel. That's the rumor. Estimations are that the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max could weigh 185 and 216 grams respectively, which would only be a couple grams heavier than the iPhone XS and XS Max. And while it's semantic, I do think this is going to be noticeable. Ever since the iPhone 12, I've really been able to tell that the phones are getting heavier, so hopefully this means we can have a lighter phone with better battery life. That's a great combination. Now, that better battery life has been rumored for a little while, but one of the things that is going to deliver that is the new 3nm A17 chip. Now, we've talked about this before, so I'm not going to go into a ton of details, but it seems that Apple is not just focusing on improved performance, but on efficiency as well. And I'm hoping that's going to be a significant increase, not just a little minor one, because really the battery life on iPhones has been underwhelming since the 11 Pro and the 11 Pro Max. Those things were absolute tanks, and everything since then has definitely felt a little lackluster. And the final iPhone rumor is a clarification on the action button. It's been rumored for a couple of months that Apple is going to ditch the mute switch and have just a physical button there. And so now it seems like that is going to be the action button. So it could be a mute switch, or it could do something else. Mark Gurman suggested it could be used for focus modes, opening the flashlight, launching the camera, starting a voice recording, Siri shortcuts, the digital magnifying glass, or accessibility settings. Those are some pretty good possibilities. I have to say, I was on the fence about ditching the mute switch, but if it can be customizable like this, I think that could actually be really, really useful. So that does it for the iPhone rumors, and you'll notice that almost all of them were about the Pro models. Honestly, it's starting to become a meme how little Apple cares about the regular iPhone. The 12, 13, 14, and now 15 are all these really minor incremental updates. They're barely getting anything, and anything they do get is just passed down from the previous year's Pro model. It's kind of sad, and it didn't used to be that way. Remember the iPhone 8, then the XR, then the 11, then the 12? Those are some major updates, and they followed along with the rest of what the iPhone lineup was doing, but that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. Now, as for the rest of this year's Apple event, honestly, not a ton to go around. We do have a rumor that the Apple Watch Series 9 and Ultra 2nd generation could feature a new heart rate sensor, more accurate sensors broadly, a U2 chip, and the first chip upgrade since 2020 with the S6. So finally, the Apple Watch is going to be getting some internal upgrades, although to be quite honest, I haven't noticed any need for them. None of the Apple Watches have felt slow in the last 3 years, so we'll see if that does anything for users. So in addition to the iPhone and the Apple Watch, Apple does like to focus on some accessories like HomePod or AirPod during these events. So it seems like we might get a newer USB-C version of AirPods Pro, but I don't expect them to feature much else. I suspect that you'll be able to just buy a USB-C charging case and keep your existing AirPods Pro. I think that's probably how Apple's going to do it, but that's not a rumor, that's just speculation. There is a rumor that there's going to be new AirPods Max with USB-C as soon as 2024, and I'm really hoping that those are going to feature more substantive upgrades and not just, take exactly what we have now and put a USB-C port on it. So that seems to be it as far as the Apple event that's in just a couple of days. I think honestly we have a ton of leaks and rumors. Apple, I'm sure, is not happy about how much of this year's products have been leaked. We don't have any rumors of curveballs or surprises, so if there is something, then good job, Apple, for hiding it from us, but I suspect that this is a pretty comprehensive list. So I'm curious to know what you guys think. Are you excited for this event? Are you not excited? Are you planning on getting the iPhone 15 Pro? If you are, or if you're not, I don't know why I specified either way, definitely check out my podcast on Sunday here on the channel, 9 p.m. EST. We talk about all this stuff. I'm also going to be covering the event live on the channel as well, so make sure to stay tuned for that. A lot of stuff going on. I will see you guys very, very soon. Thanks for watching.